Hey guys, WebHeadGaming here, and welcome to the finale of Mega Man X3. We are now at the final stage of the game, filled to the brim with these very easy to kill robots, as well as a shit ton of Sigma bodies in the background. No wonder why he keeps coming back. He's got a clone of himself ready to go when he dies. This cutscene does not play if you get the bad ending. If you get the Z-Saber, or if you lose Zero later on, you don't get this cutscene at all. But if you're going for the good ending, then Zero shows up, smashes the wall, and will disappear for a bit. This is actually pretty significant to what will happen once we beat the game. So a lot of people think that X3 Sigma is by far the hardest Sigma in the entire series. Although, after practicing him and figuring out a few things about him, I wholeheartedly disagree. I think the fight in X5 is tougher. Debatably, I think the fight in X8 is harder. But in terms of this Sigma, he's pretty easy. And the reason why I say that is his weakness is the spinning blade. And if you obtain the golden armor, which gives you the ability to double dash, you can literally hug the wall here. Use the spinning blade because it goes backwards. A lot of people don't know that. And hit Sigma in the head. Now, you really need to make sure you hit Sigma in the head or at least in the back because his shield will block your shots. Be very wary of that. But once you get it down, this boss fight becomes piss easy. It becomes incredibly easy. Even easier than the first forms in X1 and X2. It's that easy. Because you can just hug the wall, spam the spinning blade, and just deal a lot of damage to him. Because all of his attacks are designed for attacking you when you're in front of him. Now, Sigma will react to where you are on screen. If you're at the center, he will stop mid-jump and fire behind him. And you better watch out because those fireballs will travel on the wall. At half health, he will throw his Captain America shield, but it doesn't do that much damage, so you don't need to worry about it too much. I will say this, fighting this guy with the X-Buster and not cheesing him is definitely a difficult task, because you really need to memorize where those fireballs go, and you need to dodge them effectively and very quickly, because they're super fast and they're pretty tough to decipher. But if you're using the weakness, then Sigma is not tough at all in the first phase. Blech. Anyway, this is the second phase. It's known as Kaiser Sigma. Sigma is now in this very ridiculous looking body. Look at this. This looks so stupid. A lot of people have a lot of trouble with this guy. Mainly because they claim his hitbox is small. Because the only thing that flashes when you hit Sigma is his head. So a lot of people think that the head has such a small hitbox, but in actuality, from what I've discovered, it's the thrusters that you need to hit. Like, the thrusters are the true hitbox to this guy. Like, don't pay attention to the head, aim at the thrusters because that's where the hitbox lies. And a lot of people don't know that. But once you do know that, oh my god, this boss fight becomes so much more bearable because even though he is slow, and a lot of his attacks can be easily dodged with a good eye, they still do a lot of damage. And this is with the body armor on, so keep that in mind. As for Sigma himself, he will constantly throw these mines at you. They're not too difficult to dodge, you just gotta be paying attention to where they go. And he'll do two things depending on what side of the screen he's on. If he's on the right side, he'll fire this giant laser at you, but it has a very forgiving hitbox. If you get caught in it, it takes a few seconds for the laser to actually start hitting you. When he's on the left side, he'll fire these missiles, and the missiles are by far the most annoying attack he does because they do a lot of damage, and they take more than one hit to kill. So be careful with that. He's only weak to the X-Buster, and I pulled out the ability to instantly shoot charge shots because it will make this fight go by a lot faster. Because without the ability to instantly fire charge shots, it's pretty annoying to fight this guy while charging up your shots. And as you can see, he's almost dead. I got the hitbox down pretty well. Just be very careful, avoid his attacks accordingly, have a good eye, and you should have no problem with this boss. I don't think this boss is that hard at all. I think after some practice, after some realization that the flashing head is a distraction, this boss becomes pretty easy. He becomes pretty manageable. I don't think it's the hardest thing in the world, but it's still not the most obvious thing in the world. It really all boils down to practice. But we are not done yet, folks, because Sigma actually has a third phase, which is a chase sequence. And this is actually my most hated phase of all, because basically what happens is that the Sigma virus will show up, and it still looks just as bad as it does in X2. And you basically need to make sure you climb the walls very, very quickly, because the whole floor will go up in lava, and it will chase you. And if you fall at any time during this climb, you will die, and you will have to start this boss fight all over again, which is fucking retarded. But whatever. Luckily, I managed to get through this fight without dying, so thank the Lord. And that's it. That's X3. We've beaten the game. Oh shit, we're at a dead end. Oh fuck. Oh crap. We're trapped. Sigma's stupid-looking polygonal virus has got us cornered. He's gonna try and possess us. If only a certain blonde-haired, ponytailed Repoid can come in and save us. And look at that, he does. Just like clockwork. So yeah, this is actually what you get if you get the good ending. Zero will show up out of nowhere, slash Sigma with the Z-Saber, and claims that he got this anti-virus program from Doppler, and he somehow managed to use it on the Beam Saber. I don't know how that works, but whatever, I'll go with it. It's a video game. And yeah, this is all you get for the good ending. And honestly, it's not really worth it, because there's really not much difference. All that really happens is that Zero shows up to save your ass. And, yeah, that's basically the only difference. Like in X2, there's really not much reward for doing this without the Z-Saber. If you do, however, go through the game with the Z-Saber, or if you lose Zero, then instead of Zero showing up to save your ass, it's going to be Dr. Doppler. And I actually like this ending more than the good ending, mainly because it gives full closure to Doppler, because in the good ending, we don't know what happens to Doppler after we fought him. All that really happens is that he gives Zero the program to stop the Sigma virus, and that's that. Here, we actually have full closure to what happens to Doppler, and that's why I personally think the bad ending is better than the good ending, just for that reason alone. And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically all that changes if you went through the entire game without losing Zero, or if you lose Zero and get the Z-Saber. That's basically all that happens. Is it worth it? Depends if you rather go through it without cheesing it with the Z-Saber, or if you rather go through it not having a frustrating time. So once again, the castle or base or whatever is going to explode into a bazillion pieces while X and Zero looks over at the sunset. This is the third time they went with this very sappy, very sad ending, by the way. I mean, X1's ending was pretty sad and sappy. X2's ending was pretty sad and sappy. I don't get why, but throughout X1 all the way up to X5, they have this very sad, very depressing ending. And it just, I don't get it at all. But, that was Mega Man X3. And, what are my final thoughts on the game? in terms of how I rank it in the X series, I would probably say that this is my least favorite in the SNES trilogy. I don't know, the beginning of this game is a big turnoff for newcomers, mainly because X takes way too much damage, I find. And some of the Mavericks are just almost impossible without their weakness. I mean, they're doable, but holy shit, they are hard. With the exception of, say, Wizard Buffalo and maybe Tunnel Rhino. But the rest of them are pretty goddamn difficult. I'm not fond of the fact that Zero can't really do anything besides go through the stage. I mean, I get not allowing him to collect items. I can understand that, but not allowing him to fight bosses? I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I personally wish Zero was allowed to fight bosses. You would say, well, then it'll make the game way too easy because Zero's broken as fuck. Well, it's better than having to go through trial and error bullshit, honestly. The difficulty curve is very schizophrenic. The game becomes way too easy with the weaknesses and with the proper equipment, while it becomes batshit insane without the items and the weaknesses. It really should have had a better balance. Graphically, it looks the best out of the SNES trilogy. It looks better than X1 and X2. The music is left to be desired. The SNES soundtrack, I think, is a bit overhated. I don't think the soundtrack is that bad. There are some good songs on the soundtrack. Same goes to the PlayStation version. I think some songs in the PlayStation version are pretty good to listen to. The optional quest, the side quest with Bit, Bite, and Vile was pretty fun. I really liked the idea of it. As for replayability, I really liked that concept. I think the enhancement chips placed in the levels were pretty pointless considering the fact that you got the gold armor by the end of the game. I really wish that the enhancement chips were just taken out because they're really pointless because of the fact that there's this golden armor you can get in Doppler Stage 1. I never understand that design choice. But other than that, I got not much else to say. I don't think this game is bad. It's a pretty decent Mega Man game. A decent entry in the X series. I don't think it's that terrible. It just has a few problems that could turn off newcomers. If you want to try out Mega Man X3 yourself, then it is available on the Wii U's Virtual Console as well as the 3DS's Virtual Console. New 3DS's Virtual Console, rather. It's available on the X Collection, although keep in mind that is the PlayStation version of the game and not the SNES version of the game. The SNES cartridge is pretty expensive as fuck, so unless you're a hardcore Super Nintendo collector, I advise not trying to go out your way to find this game on the SNES. The PlayStation version is only... The PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and PC versions are only in Japan and Europe. So if you want to get an original copy of those, then you might need a console from those regions to play them. And yeah, that's really all I need to say about X3. So where do I go from here? Well, I'm not going to tackle X4 right away. In fact, I got a different Let's Play I want to do, and something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I can't wait to play it because it's one of my favorite games. And yeah, I will pick up, once I finish that playthrough though, I will pick up with X4 and then finish the, and then try and get through the PlayStation trilogy. And then I'll do X7 and X8 some other time once I get an actual game capture device. And yeah, that's really all I need to say. I got nothing else to say, so enjoy the rest of the staff roll. And I'm also going to show off the enhanced versions ending because it's pretty cool. This is WebHead Gaming. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.